Yeah, good morning, students. You know that this is an exclusive live class for JEE Mains, Advanced, NEET and other competitive exams like MCET. So here my topic will be ray optics. My topic will be ray optics. Students, since you know that you all have given your intermediate second year examination right now, and now you are in the stage of writing. You are in the stage of writing the competitive exams. So I won't be going much into the derivation part of the ray optics. Rather than that, what I'll do, I will be focusing on the 3 points. The first point is we will be going on the concept application. First thing. Second, we will be trying to focus the tough numerical that has been asked in the previous year examination of IIT, JEE Mains, Advanced, NEET or MCET. And third, we will discuss some of the model questions. We will discuss some of the model questions that they may appear in one or the other form in the given competitive examination which you are going to focus. So now in the ray optics part, let us see here. In the ray optics part, in the last 10 years, what I have visualized is that there are few topics from which the questions are frequently asked. The first part is the refraction and total internal reflection. I'll first tell you all the topics, and then we'll discuss that which topic is more important and has to be discussed in priorities. So the first topic is refraction and total internal reflection. The second topic is based on the property or one of the important example of refraction, that is real depth and apparent depth, in which there are 3 parts. That bird fish problem, you have all been known to the bird fish problem, with the bottom pot is somewhat silvered, or it is silvered with a plane mirror, it is silvered with a curved mirror. The third part is something refraction by the plane surface, we will look after to it. And then it is refraction by the spherical surface. This is what I think so. It's one of the most important topics that has been frequently asked. The question has been frequently asked from this topic. That is the refraction by the spherical surface. Then we have the thin lenses. Again, the question will be a mixed bag. What I mean to say a mixed bag is that they will have the combination of 2 or more concepts. For example, a thin lens with a refraction with a spherical surface, a thin lens with a combination of the mirrors like this. So this is also one of the very important topic, that is the thin lenses. And then we can have the equation part. So now what I'll do right now, in this part you can see that what the part is blinking over here. What I feel is that the last 10 years these are very important topics, and the question has been frequently asked on these topics which you are seeing on the screen as blinking part. Now I told you earlier, since you have already given the 12th examination, you have already appeared for the second year examination, and now you are focusing in the competitive examination like IIT, JEE Mains, Advanced, NEET or MCET. I will be focusing on the concept application, and I will be focusing on the previous year tough question and how to tackle these questions very easily with confidence and getting the right answer. So out of these 4 parts, what you are seeing on the screen, that is the blinking part, what you are seeing, what I feel so that the refraction by the spherical surface followed by the thin lens is very important, and then it had to be followed by the real depth and apparent depth condition, and then it should be followed by the refraction of the plane surface. Since the time is less, so it may be possible that the refraction to the prism, this part, refraction to the prism, this part, and the optical instrument, which I have not either mentioned here, has to be gone for the next class. So now I will be starting with my topic, refraction by the spherical surface. That is this part, refraction by the spherical surface. Now, for the refraction from the spherical surface, you all know about the refraction to the spherical surface. I won't be deriving, I am telling again and again, I am telling you the concept now. Let us consider we have a refracting surface. We have a refracting surface, and this refracting surface, let us consider a point object is placed here, and this is a rarer medium having a refractive index say mu1, and this is a denser medium having refractive index mu2. Now the ray, now if you see from the rarer medium part, this is bulging out, and therefore this is known as the convex refracting surface. This is known as the convex refracting surface. Now what you have learned till now, that from the incident ray will come from the object, it will hit the interface, that is the convex refracting surface, and if you draw a normal over here, this normal will pass to the center of curvature. This will be the angle of incidence, and now the ray is moving from rarer medium to denser medium, it will bend towards the normal, and therefore you will get the final image or the refracted ray meeting on the principal axis at this point, that is the final position of the image. Now you know that the distance from the pole to the optical, or from the pole to the object is taken as u, from pole to center of curvature is taken as r, from pole to the image the distance is taken as v. That you know it, that you have already derived it, you have already derived this concepts. Now you know that if mu2, the refractive index of the denser medium is mu2, refractive index of the rarer medium is mu1, where the object is kept, therefore we can say that mu2 is greater than mu1. Now what is the formula? Just how to revise this formula, how to remember this formula, and how to apply in the competitive examination, I will tell you. Now you see here that the ray is finally refracted to a medium mu2. To start with, like this, mu2 by v minus the rays incident from the object which is placed at a rarer medium, having the refractive index as mu1, that is minus mu1 by u is equal to mu2 minus mu1 upon r, where r is the radius of curvature of this convex refracting surface. So this formula you have to remember. Though you have proved it, I won't waste your time right now in proving it. Rather than we will go for the tough numerical or the numerical that is frequently asked. So now what we have learned till now is the relationship is mu2 by v. How to apply this formula? There is a very simple trick. You start from the refraction side, that is the mu2. So mu2 by v minus, you come to the incident side, that is mu1 by u equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. Now remember one thing, while deriving this formula in your intermediate exam, what you have done, you have already applied the sign convention. So now what you have to do when you are using this numerical, when you are using this formula in a numerical, you have to use the sign convention. You have to use the sign convention when you are using in numerical. The second important point, this is the first important point, when you are using this formula, in any of the numerical, then you have to use along with the sign convention, which is better known to you. If it is not known to you, we will discuss in the numerical side. The second part is very important, that what I want to emphasize more is that whenever you are using this expression or any expression and you want to derive a new expression, for example, if I am using this expression and I want to derive a new expression, I am using this expression and I want to derive a new expression, I will tell you how. Then since we have already applied the sign convention while proving it, so when I am deriving a new expression from a given equation, then during the derivation part, I won't be using the sign convention. Or for any of the formula which has been derived earlier and you want to extend it and want to give a new result, then you don't use the sign convention over there, because already you have put the sign convention once. And therefore, but remember, whatever the new formula you are deriving it from the given expression, then when this formula is used in the numerical, you have to use the sign convention. So two things are clear to you, I think so. Now let us say just how to use this formula. So meanwhile, just you read the numerical one, you read this question and just read a question for a while, and let's see how we can use the refraction to the convex surface or refraction to any spherical surface in this numerical. Meanwhile, you read the question, students, please. Yeah, in the question what they have given, 1/4 of a cylinder, that is a quarter of a cylinder of radius r, as you can see over here, it is mentioned over here that the radius is capital R, and the refractive index of this spherical cylinder is 1.5 and it is placed on a table. A point object is kept at this point, you can see here, which is at a distance of m times capital R, where capital R is the radius of the cylinder. Now you have to find the value of m, from which the final ray after refraction become parallel. See here, it is becoming parallel. it is becoming parallel. It is becoming parallel to the table. Now this is the question. Now how to apply the concept what we have learned now? How to apply the concept what we have learned now? Let us see. So now what is given to you? We have given this a quarter of a cylinder. Is it clear? The radius is given to be r. It is placed on a table, and the distance of the point object P from the one end of the cylinder is mr, and the refractive index is given as 1.5. Now you see here, according to the question, the ray first incident on this first interface or the first interface. So now we will apply, this is air actually, so mu will be 1. This is also air, so mu will be 1. Now you apply the expression for the refraction to the spherical surface for this interface, first interface. What I told you is that what you have to use, mu2 by v minus mu1 by u equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. So now mu2 is what? I told you in the earlier case, mu2 is the refractive index of the medium where the ray is refracted. When the ray is moving from this point, from the air to this cylinder, so the refraction of light will take place here. So let mu will be there 1.5, v will be, say the intermediate image will be v1, the intermediate image will be v1 minus mu1 will be air upon u. Now u is what? You have to measure this distance, you have to take as negative. You know it by sign convention, this distance you have to take as positive. So now this distance u will be minus mr. What I told you, while using this formula, you have to use the sign convention. So now u will be minus mr is equal to mu2 minus mu1 upon r, and r for this plane surface will be infinity. So from here, what you will get right now as 1.5 by v1 plus 1 by mr is equal to 0, or I can write as mr 1.5 by v1 is equal to 1 by mr, or v1 will come out to be, this will come this side minus, so v1 will come out to be minus 1.5 mr. Now it means that the image formed by this surface is coming out to be minus 1.5 mr. Minus sign means toward this side. From this is mr distance, so 1.5 mr will be somewhat more. So this will be somewhat here, say this is p dash, and this distance now come out to be, this distance will now come out to be 1.5 mr. Now the ray had already been refracted from this surface. Now it will move somewhat here, and after moving from here, the final refracted ray should come parallel to the table. Now the refraction, when the ray will move ahead, it will have the refraction from the second interface. Now you apply the same concept of this formula, you apply the same formula over here. Now what will happen? Mu2. Now what is mu2 here? The ray is moving from cylinder to air. So the refracted ray finally moved to air. So this is now mu2 according to the new condition. What is mu1? Here, this is mu1 now. Okay, what is v? The final, where the final image will be formed? V. The rays are coming parallel, so v will be infinity. What about the u? Now you have to take the u from this surface. This will act as an object now. The image which is formed by the first interface, this will act as an object for the second interface. Now you have to measure the distance from the second interface. So what is the distance from the second interface? R plus mr, but that too in this direction. That is minus of within bracket r plus mr. Now radius of curvature of this will be in this direction again, because if you make a curve, the radius of curvature will be in this direction, that will be along the minus direction. So if I'll just put the formula again for this interface, second interface, what I'll get? Mu2, that is 1 by v. We have to find v is what? Infinity, because the ray finally refracted becoming parallel to the table, so this will be infinity, minus mu1, that is this one, this is given 1.5 upon u. Now the image, whatever the image formed by the first surface will act as an object, so you have to measure the distance of the object from the second interface. That will be r plus mr, but that too in this direction, so this will be taken as negative. This will be minus of mr plus r is equal to mu2 minus mu1, that is 1 minus 1.5 upon r. What is r for this one? This is in this direction, that is negative sign, so minus r. So now what I'll get? 1 by infinity will be 0 minus 1.5 mr plus r is equal to 1 minus 0.5 may be minus 0.5 by minus r. This gets cancelled. This will be 3, or I can get 3r is equal to mr. What I'll get here? Minus and minus will get pencil, and then you can get 1 minus 0.5 is equal to 1 minus 0.5 is minus 0.5 upon minus r. Then you will get like this, 3r is equal to, you will get over mr plus r, or like this, and then you can solve this equation and you can get the answer. Definitely you can get the answer by this one. So this is the one of the case what we have just now discussed. Now in the second case, if you go for this one, what I mean to say here is that when you are going for the diffraction to the let us go for this Lense-Makeup formula. Now we'll talk about the Lense-Makeup formula right now. Now what is the Lense-Makeup formula? See, let us consider we have a lens. This is the object. Okay. Now the ray is coming from this object like this. It is reflected from the first surface. Let the image formed by this one be I1 here, and then after refraction from the second surface, let the final image be I over here. Now let this distance be u. Let this distance be v1, that is the intermediate one, and this final distance be v. Now can you tell me how to apply what is the Lense-Makeup formula? You know, let this be air, mu is 1, or you take as mu of say some medium, mu lens, and mu medium. Again, this is the refractive index of the lens, this is refractive index of the medium, this is also refractive index of the medium. So now you know the formula is, what is the focal length of this lens? The focal length of this lens is equal to mu lens by mu medium minus 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2, where r1 and r2 are the radius of curvature, where r1 and r2 are the radius of curvature. So now this is known as the Lense-Makeup formula. Now my question is, when you know the Lense-Makeup formula, this is the Lense-Makeup formula, remember one thing over here, in the Lense-Makeup formula, the medium on either side of the lens, are same. But what will happen? What will happen if the medium on either side of the lens changes? For example, let us consider if you see the diagram over here, the refractive index of the lens is given as mu. The refractive index of the lens is given as mu, whereas this lens is kept in a medium where the medium are different, means here the medium is having a refractive index as mu a, and here the medium is having a refractive index as mu b. Now what will happen? What I mean to say, that when the lens, and this is a very important topic. Why? Because the question has been frequently asked on this topic. I will tell you how the question they have framed. So now let us consider we have a lens of refractive index mu, and here let the refractive index of this medium is mu a and the refractive index of this medium be mu b. Okay. Now what you have to do? Simple trick I will tell you how to remember the concept. Now this, you know that then the final ray will be refracted from the second interface and it will move to mu b. So you can directly write as mu b by v. The ray is incident from this medium, here the object is kept, minus mu a by u is equal to, let the radius of curvature be r1 and r2. Now you come to the second interface, you start from here mu b, you start from left to right toward the object, you start mu b minus mu by r2 plus, now you come to this one, again move left to right, mu minus mu a by r1. This is a very important concept that can be used directly in the competitive examination. Again I am telling you, This is the object. This is the first interface from where the refraction will take place. This is the second interface from where the refraction will take place, and therefore we can start with the final refracted ray will be refracted from this interface. To start from here to mu b by v, that is the final position of the image, minus the rays incident from here, that is the object, mu a by u. Now you start from left to right toward the object, that is mu b minus mu b minus mu by r2. Then again left to right, come here, mu minus mu a by r1. This is the formula. Now remember one thing, when you are using this formula, in numerical part, you have to use the sign convention. You have to use a sign convention. What you have to use? You have to use a sign convention. So now let us go for a good question now. Now let's see here. This is a question here, a very important question for JEE Mains or NEET. See, as you see the diagram, this is given as mu1, mu2 and mu3, and they are asking, you know that what is the basic property of a convex lens? This is a convex lens. That what is the basic property of a convex lens? It will converge or it will diverge? It will converge, you know. But what they are asking here, you see here, they are asking that this is an equiconvex lens, having a refractive index as mu2 is placed and on the either side of the lens, the refractive index is changing. Means if you see here, to the left of the lens where the object is kept is mu1, and to the right the final image will form is mu3. Now they are asking you that what should be the condition or what should be the relationship between mu1, mu2 and mu3 so that the lens become diverging, means the nature of the lens has to change. Now let us see how to solve this type of problem. So what is given in the question is, we have a equiconvex lens having refractive index mu2, and this lens is placed in a medium, or we can say that the medium here is refractive index is having mu1, and here the medium is having a refractive index of mu3, or the lens is placed in a medium where the medium is changing from mu1 to mu3, and the refractive index of the medium and the refractive index of the lens is mu2. Now they are asking when this lens will behave like a diverging lens. Means what? The rays are coming, let us say this is a thin lens, the rays are coming parallel means u is infinity, and now instead of converging it will diverge. Instead of converging it will diverge, and it will meet at a certain point. A virtual image will be formed, and this is say V. So this is the question now. So what is, for this convex lens to behave like a diverging, what should be the relationship between mu1, mu2 and mu3? That is the question. Now I told you, when the lens is kept in a different medium, when the lens of refractive index mu2 is kept in a different medium, we know the formula. How to start? I told you mu3, first we will write the formula. This is the final refraction medium, so mu3 by V minus incident, this is the refractive index of the incident medium, mu1 by U. Start from the extreme right and move towards the object. So mu3, let the radius of curvature be r and r, because this is given as equiconvex lens. So mu3 minus mu2 by r, plus again from mu3 to mu2, now mu2 to mu1, plus mu2 minus mu1 by r. Now you have to use the sign convention, as I told you, you have to use the sign convention. Now mu3 by V is not known to you, minus mu1 by u is minus infinity, you can see over here, minus infinity is equal to mu3 minus mu2 by r. Now see here, this direction you are taking in negative, this direction you are taking as positive. So this r will be in this direction, so it has to be taken as mu3 minus mu2, and this direction is, for this one, this will be in this direction, minus r plus mu2 minus mu1 by, now this one, for this spherical surface, this will, radius of curvature will be in this direction, so it will be plus r. So now what you will get now? You will get as mu3 by V, this will become 0, is equal to, if you take this minus upside, this will become mu2 minus mu3 plus mu2 minus mu1 upon r. or I can write mu 2 plus mu 2 is 2 mu 2. If I write mu 2 plus mu 2 is 2 mu 2, okay, mu 2 plus mu 2, 2 mu 2 minus mu 1 minus mu 3, 2 mu 2 minus mu 1 minus mu 3 by R is equal to mu 3 by V, or I'll put this mu 3 downward, I'll get 1 by V. Now listen very carefully. The final image is formed over here, means V is negative. This is very important point. V is negative. V is negative means what? V is negative means V is less than 0. You can see here, V is negative. In this side, V is negative means what? V is less than 0. If V is less than 0, means 1 by V should also be less than 0. Am I correct or wrong? Correct, no? So what I'll do, I'll put 1 by V as less than 0. So what I'll get here, 2 mu 2 minus mu 1 minus mu 3 less than 0, or 2 mu 2 less than mu 1 plus mu 3, or mu 2 should be less than mu 1 plus mu 3 by 2. This is the final answer. It is the final expression for this equiconvex lens to behave like a divergent lens. This is one of the very important topic, or one very important question that has been frequently asked, or it may be frequently asked in the IIT JEE mains or NEET level. Is it clear up to this point? Now let us consider, we can go for another numerical now. Now this is a very good question. If you read this question, this is a very good question, and you see it is in question has been asked in IIT JEE 1997. That is when the IIT was used to be a subjective one. That is one of the difficult question what I have seen in my while teaching. And it is also based, you can see over here, you read the question, I'll give you 1 minute, you just read the question so that it can be clear to you, and meanwhile I'll just make a diagram. Now this is a question which came in IIT JEE 1997, and I read it again. A thin equiconvex lens, you can see a thin equiconvex lens here. See, this is a thin equiconvex lens. It is made of glass of refractive index 3 by 2 and a focal length 0.3 meter. When I say that the focal length is 0.3 meter in air, when I say that the focal length of this lens is 0.3 meter in air, what I can find it out, it is the equiconvex lens of radius of curvature R. What I can get, I know the lens maker formula, 1 by F is equal to mu lens by mu medium minus 1 by R, this is positive, this is negative, minus of minus 1 by R for this one. So I can get 1 upon focal length is equal to mu lens. How much mu lens is given to you, beta? Mu lens is given to you how much? 3 by 2. Okay. So this is 3 by 2. Medium is air only right now, minus 1, 2 by R. Or I can get 1 upon focal length is equal to 3 by 2 minus 1. What is 3 by 2 minus 1? 1 by 2, 2 and 2 will get cancelled, R. So R is equal to the focal length, this is given to be 0.3 meter. So we get an additional idea. We get, see now what is the importance of IIT questions. They won't give the question on single concept. They will give the question in the multiple concept. You have to first apply the lens maker formula in order to get the radius of curvature of a equiconvex lens. So first we got the radius of curvature as 0.3 meter. We got the radius of curvature as 0.3 meter. So this part is okay. This part is an additional part because we need it for solving further question. Now let us come to the question again, and I'll just rub this part because we are concerned to find the radius of curvature first before knowing what is the exact question. Now I'll read the question. A thin equiconvex lens made up of glass of refractive index 3 by 2 and focal length 0.3 meter. This part is helpful in finding us the radius of curvature of an equiconvex lens, which will come out to be equal to the focal length in this condition, and it is equal to 0.3 meter. Now, is sealed into an opening end of a tank filled with a water mu equal to 3 by 2. You can see that this is a tank of width 0.8 meter, and in the tank the water is filled. On the opposite side of the lens, a mirror is placed. You can see here, opposite side of the lens, the mirror is placed, and this mirror is placed. The separation between the lens and the mirror is 0.8 meter, that is equal to the width of the tank, and a small object, see here, this is an object, a small object is kept at a 0.9 meter from the convex lens. Okay, now what you have to find? You have to find the final position of the image. This is a very good question. You have to find the final position of the image. So now we start with the question now. Now this is question again. You see that where the object is kept, it is air, mu is 1. Is it clear? Where the object is kept, for example, now I will do it something like this. This is an object which is kept at a distance of say 0.9 meter. This is air, say mu 1 equal to 1. This is lens, mu 2 equal to 3 by 2. Here we have water. Here we have water, say mu 3. We take as mu 3. Mu 3 is equal to 4 by 3 is given. And this width or the distance between the lens and the plane mirror is given to as 0.8 meter. And what they are asking you? They are asking you what is the final position of the image. Now you look the question very carefully. What we have done in the first question, it has been somewhat more modified. It has been modified. If you see here now you see to the whiteboard. Now you see to the whiteboard here. Here this is air, this is lens, this is water. Means this lens is placed in a medium, in two different medium. This lens is placed in a two different medium. Now we know the concept. When the lens is placed in two different medium, what is the case? If this is mu 1, this is mu 2, this is mu 3. Now what you can do is mu 3 by say V1, because that won't be the final image, mu 3 by V1 minus mu 1 by U is equal to, start from left to right, mu 3 minus mu 2 by R1. Then from here to here, mu 2 minus mu 1 by R2. This you know, this is a formula which we have to use. This is a formula which we have to use when a lens is placed in two different medium. Means to the left of it where the object is kept, it is air. To the right of it, it is water. Now we will get, by using this, we will get V1, that is the image formed by the lens. That is V1 is what? It is the image formed by the lens. And now we will see the ray diagram also. We will see the ray diagram also. But we cannot make the ray diagram. We cannot make a ray diagram before solving it, because we don't know where the final position of the image we will get after the refraction of the lens. Then first we will solve it like this. Now we have to use the sign convention as I told you earlier. So now how to use the sign convention is see mu 3 by V1. What is mu 3 here? 4 by 3. I will put over here 4 by 3 by V1 minus mu 1 is air upon U. Now this distance is negative, this distance is positive, as you know by the sign convention. So this will be minus 0.9 is equal to mu 3 minus mu 2, 4 by 3 minus 3 by 2 by R1. This one, its radius of curvature will be negative, minus 0.3. We have already calculated, F equal to R, plus mu 2, that is 3 by 2, minus mu 1, 1 by R2. This radius of curvature, this will be in this direction positive, this will be plus 0.3. Now if you solve this part, this V1, because I don't want to waste your time, if you solve this part, this V1 will come out to be 1.2 meter. That is positive. It is coming out to be positive. If you solve this condition, V1 will come out to be 1.2 meter. V1 coming out to be positive means the image formed by the lens which is placed in the two different medium, the image formed will be at 1.2 meter from the lens. Now if you see the ray diagram, something like this will happen. The ray, if I say like the ray is coming like this, ray is coming like this. Okay. So now from here the image distance is 1.2 meter. The image distance is 1.2 meter. This is already 0.8 meter. Means how much ahead it will form? 0.4 meter. See here. The image is formed at 1.2 meter from the lens. Okay, this is 0.8 meter. This is 0.8 meter. But we want the image will be formed at 1.2 meter from the lens. Then where the image will be formed? Somewhat like this. Like this. This. Means now from here it is 1.2 meter positive in the direction. So this is the first intermediate image. This is the first intermediate image which is formed by this convex lens. Now what will happen? Let's go ahead. Now the ray is moving here. It is coming here. The ray is coming here. Now there is a plane mirror, and you know the property of plane mirror. The image formed by the lens now will behave like an object or a virtual object for this plane mirror. So now from plane mirror, so what is the distance of the object from the plane mirror? Now this is 1.2 meter, this is 1.2 meter, this is 0.8 meter, so this will be 0.4 meter. So we can say now that the object or the virtual object is at a distance of 0.4 meter from the mirror, and therefore the image will be formed at 0.4 meter to the left of the mirror. Now how the ray diagram will work? Now if you draw normal here, this is angle of incidence. Angle of incidence will be equal to angle of reflection like this, and here the image I2 will be formed, and this will be 0.4 meter. This is I2. Now the ray after reflecting from the plane mirror, formed at I2, that is at a distance of 0.4 meter. Is it clear up to this point? Yes or no? Now the ray is heading. Now the ray is again heading here, and the ray is again heading here. I'll just change the marker so that it can be very clear to you what exactly happening. Now the ray after reflection, this is going for reflection, it is meeting at a distance of 0.4 meter. It is meeting at a distance of 0.4 meter, and therefore now what will happen? The ray is heading. The ray is heading here. The ray is heading here. Again, what will happen? Now we will get a lens, and again the refraction will take place from the lens. When the refraction will take place from the lens, again you understand the lens is kept in two different media. But now this ray is moving from here, first, that is from mu3 to mu2, from mu2 to mu1. Again we will apply the formula. Which formula we have to apply? We have to apply the formula when the lens is kept in a different medium. So I apply the same formula. Now, and what I'll get now is, let's just see. Now this is an I2. Which is acting as which was the image formed by the plane mirror. Now act as an object for this lens. Now this is 0.8 meter, this is given to be 0.8 meter, this is 0.4 meter. So what is the object distance now? This is the object distance, again 0.4 meter for the lens. Now what I will do right now here is we apply the formula. Now the ray is moving from 3 to 2, 2 to 1. So if we start from here, what is the mu1, that is air. Okay, I write it down, mu1 by V minus rays incident from here, mu3 by U, is equal to, we start from which end? We start from this end, mu3 minus mu2 by R1 plus mu2 minus mu1 by R2. Now apply the sign convention. Now if you apply the sign convention now here, okay, mu1 is 1, V is the final image, minus mu3, 4 by 3 by U. Now listen very carefully. This is U now in this direction, and this direction you have already taken as positive. Don't change the sign convention in a full numerical. What sign convention you have taken, you have to stick to that sign convention. Now you see here, over here, this is the object distance in this direction, that is 0.4 is plus, so I write as plus 0.4 is equal to mu3 minus mu2, mu3 4 by 3 minus mu2 3 by 2 upon R1. This. Now this radius of curvature will be in this direction, which is taken as negative. So this is negative minus 0.3, what we have already calculated, plus mu2 3 by 2 minus 1 upon R2. This is R2 now. This is in this direction, again positive. So now this is taken as plus 0.3. So you will get, when you solve this one, you will get the final image at 0.9 meter from the lens, positive 0.9 meter. Now what does positive 0.9 meter means? Now listen carefully, the ray is coming like this, So after refraction, plus means what? this side is minus, it cannot meet over here. It will going somewhat like this, it will go somewhat like this, it won't meet over here. It will meet at a distance of 0.9 meter from the lens. This is already 0.8. This is already 0.8. So you take 0.1 somewhere here. You take 0.1 somewhere here. So that if you just extend it, you will get the answer here. And this distance from the lens, this distance, final image, it at a distance of 0.9 meter, or you can say this is 0.8 meter. So it is the final image I is formed at a distance of 0.1 meter behind the mirror. It is formed at a 0.1 meter behind the mirror. So that is the answer. Now they can ask you they can ask you the position of the final image either from the lens, that is 0.9 meter, or from the plane mirror, that is 0.1 meter. So this is a very important question what we have learned. If you want to see the ray diagram, if it is not clear to you, I can tell you the ray diagram here. You see over here, you can see this is an object. This is an object. You can see over here the ray is coming like this. This is a ray is coming like this, and the ray is meeting at a distance of what we have calculated here, 1.2 meter from the lens. From here to here, 1.2 meter. You can see this is a 1.2 meter. If I click, this is the I1, which was at a distance of say 1.2 meter. You can find it out very clearly. Now from here, this image will act as an object for this mirror, and therefore this distance will be 0.4 meter. You will get the image at 0.4 meter. Then again I am coming here and I will see it over it. If you see over it, what you will get here? This is I2, that is 0.4 meter. Now the ray is extending here, it is moving here, and again the refraction will take place, and now the final image you will getting I3. This is I3, what is getting at a distance of 0.9 meter from the lens or 0.1 meter behind the mirror. That is what you call as the answer. See, this is an IIT question. Now, see, if this is an IIT question, what does it mean? The IIT question is not comprised of a single concept. It's comprised of a multiple concept. You have to use the lens maker formula. You have to use the lens placed in a different medium, and then you have to know the knowledge of a plane mirror, and that everything. See, 3 concepts they have made, and then only 1 IIT question they have made. That is a mixed bag concept. Okay, that's good. Now let us consider again, we will go for a very good question. And again, you see why I am taking this topic and why I am very much interested. Why I am very much interested in taking this topic. If you just read the question again, if you see, again it is a multiple choice question which has been came in JEE Advanced 2014. If you see this question and read it question meanwhile, you just read this question very carefully, then we will discuss over it. Now this question, if you see over here, in IIT Advanced, sometimes what you will feel that the vocabulary of the question is very difficult. What I suggest from my last 20-year experience is that what you have to do nothing. You have to just visualize the question, and you should be able to transform the vocabulary into equations. That's all. If you have a good concept, definitely you can do it. Now you read the question. Then definitely you read the question. A transparent thin film of uniform thickness and refractive index mu1 is equal to 1.4. I will make a diagram right now. Mu1 is 1.4. This is air, say 1, and mu2 is given as 1.5 this side, I think. Mu2 is given as 1.5, and the radius of curvature BR, both are R, so that is not a problem right now. Now what they are asking you, the ray of light parallel to the axis of cylinder transfers through the film from air to glass. From air to glass, it is moving parallel. When it is moving parallel, you know it will meet at a focus. When it is moving parallel, it will meet at a focus. Let that focal length be f1. This is the first case. Then second case, what they are telling, in the second case they are telling, now same thing, this is mu1, 1.4, this is air, this is mu2, 1.5, and now what is happening, now the ray is moving from glass to air. Now the ray is moving parallel to the glass to air. Now the ray, this is the first case, this is the second case. In the second case, the ray is moving parallel from glass to air. Again, it will meet at focus somewhere. Let the focal length be f2. So they are asking you what is the magnitude of focal length. They have made the mod, means you have to give the positive value. So that is the question. Now again, if I start with the case 1, the rays are coming parallel from air to the glass. It will meet somewhere at focus. We have to find a focal length, that is f1. And in the second case, what is happening in the second case? In the second case, what is happening? The ray is moving from glass to air. It is moving parallel, and where it meets, let the focal length be f2. Now we have to find what is f1 and what is f2, and it is a multiple choice question. Or let's see what is the answer. Now in the first case, let us start with the first case. Now see, in the first case, what exactly is happening? I told you again, this is a refracting surface which is kept in different medium. Yes or no? This is kept in different medium. So now you can apply the same concept what I told you. Now instead of writing the formula, since we have done the two question already, let's do directly. This is the refraction part, so I'll do directly 1.5 by V. What will be V? V will be the focal length. 1.5 mu2 by V, V will be the focal length, because the ray are coming parallel, it will be at focus. Minus mu incidence by U, U is minus infinity because rays are coming parallel, is equal to, start from this side, 1.5 minus 1.4, this distance, this you are taking as positive, this you are taking as negative. So this will be how much? This length, radius of curvature will be this part, positive r, plus from here to here, 1.4 minus 1, again this radius of curvature is positive r. So what I will get here? f1, 1.5 by f1, this will become 0. 1.5 minus 1.4, how much 1.5 minus 1.4? Like this. So 1.5 by f1 is equal to 0.5 by r, or this will be 3. So f1 coming out to be 3r. f1 coming out to be 3r. Now you see the PPT, now you see the diagram. If you see here in the diagram, f1 is coming out to be 3r, that is the option first is correct. Option first is correct. Now let us say what about the f2? Now f1 is 3r, the option A is correct. Now what about the f2? What exactly we get for f2 now? Let us see. Now in the f2 case, listen carefully. Now they have changed the question. This is an independent question. What they are telling, now the rays are moving like this, and it is meeting somewhere here. Focal length is f2. This is mu2 is 1.5, mu1 is 1.4. This is air with mu as 1. Now this is an independent question. See, this is an independent question because the ray diagram changes. So now you have to treat this as a new question. When you are taking as a new question, the object is here. So now this convention, this should be negative and this should be positive. Now you apply the same concept. This refracting surface is kept in a two different media. What I told you, since the ray diagram changes, you have to consider it as a new question. When you consider it as a new question, this is the incident ray. So this direction you have to take negative, this direction you have to take positive. Now you apply the same concept. What is the, again, final refraction will take place here, 1 by V minus mu incidence by U, again minus infinity because rays are parallel, equal to, start from this end, move up to the object, 1 minus 1.4 upon this r will be what? This direction, minus r now, minus r, plus from here to here, 1.4 minus 1.5 upon again this direction, minus r. So what I will get here, 1 by V, V will be f2 now, V will be what? f2 because rays are coming parallel, we meet at focus. This will be 0, 1 minus 1.4 minus 0.4 by minus r, 1.4 minus 0.1, minus 0.1 by minus r. So again you will get as 1 by f2 is equal to 0.5 by r, or f2 is equal to r by 0.5. This is equal to 2r. This is equal to 2r. So now f2 is coming out to be 2r. f2 is coming out to be 2r. So now if you see here, the f2 is coming out to be 2r this. So C option is correct. So we have, in the first case, A option is correct. In the second case, C option is correct, and therefore we can say that option A and C both are correct. Now you can see over here, this is a multiple choice question that has been asked in the that has been asked in previous year JEE Advanced question 2014. Now, this is one type of question what we have done already. Now, let us if you want to go for some silvering of lens, there are many questions which is based on the silvering of lens. Now, in the silvering of lens, now you see the silvering of lens now, so the time is running out, I will just directly tell you the formula, what formula you have to use of silvering of lens. Remember one thing, when you are doing the silvering of lens, the silvering of lens means the lens will behave like a mirror. The lens will behave like a mirror. Let us say this is a convex lens and this part is silvered. So, this is a superposition of the convex lens plus a concave mirror, and therefore, this will behave like a concave mirror. This will behave like a concave mirror, and therefore, the effective focal length will be that of a mirror, and the formula is 1 upon f effective, which will be of a mirror, is equal to minus 2 by FL plus 1 by FM. The effective focal length, which will behave like a mirror, is equal to minus 2 by FL, where FL is the focal length of the lens and FM is the focal length of the individual mirror, and when these are combined, or when the lens is silvered, it will behave like a mirror. Remember, it will behave like a mirror, and remember this formula, very important. 1 by Fe, that is the effective focal length, which 1 by Fe, which is the effective focal length of this combination, which will act as a mirror, is equal to minus 2 by FL plus 1 by FM. Now, this is very important. When you are using this numerical, when you are using this equation or using this expression in numerical, you have to use the sign convention. You have to use the sign convention. So, now if you want to do some question, I will just tell you, there is no enough time, I will just tell you some simple question is there. We have a silvering of lens like this. We have here radius of curvature 15 centimeter, here radius of curvature 20 centimeter, like this. Mu is 1.5. So, now they will be asking you what is the effective focal length of this mirror, of this combination. It will behave like a concave mirror. What you have to do? You have to this is the superposition of what? Lens and mirror. This is which mirror? Concave mirror. You write the formula. Effective length is equal to minus 2 by FL plus 1 by FM. Now, for the mirror, FM is equal to minus R by 2 you apply, because it is concave, you have to put minus. Now, for this one, you can apply mu lens by mu medium minus 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2, you will get 1 by focal length. By this, you apply the sign convention, you get 1 by FL, then you put over here, you will get the effective focal length. Remember, the effective focal length will come out to be negative, because it is behaving like which mirror? It will effectively behave like a concave mirror, and you know that the focal length of a concave mirror is negative. So, now we have end of at some point, we are running out of time. Let's wait for the next class, and then we will proceed on with many of the topics what I told you here, that these are the topics which we have to do in priority basis. These are the topics which are blinking, we have to do in a priority basis. You can write it down and you can practice it, and if you have any doubt, you can have some WhatsApp number according in there, you can post your doubts also. Thank you and have a good day, students.